I'm standing in the Rebbe's room, and suddenly the Rebbe asks me, do you know what's happening with this young man? I think a man that lives in Crown Heights, I don't know, it's a business, he works for a company, whatever it is. And the Rebbe says, it's already a few months that I haven't seen him in Crown Heights. Maybe you know the reason. I said, no. Sure. I walk out of the office, I went into the office, and suddenly who walks in? This young man. Oh, Shalom Aleichem, was Master. Of course, I didn't tell him anything that I ever asked about him. I haven't seen you in a long time. What suddenly brought you to 770? He says, I'll tell you the truth. I run the subway. I usually get off at the Utica Avenue station. But when we passed Nostrand Avenue, suddenly something came to my mind. How is it for such a long time that you didn't come to 770? So I decided I'll get off at Kingston. I asked him, could you tell me about what time was it when this Makshovik came to you, when he told me that was those few minutes when the Rebbe mentioned to me, in 770. The Rebbe is thinking about each and every one of us, and he's concerned. The Rebbe feels you have to come to 770. There should be some Mikdash of our generation. The Bokim this. One Sunday afternoon, after Mincha, the Rebbe tells me, now by Mincha, there was a bocha that learns in the Zal, in the Beis Medrash, and I didn't see him yesterday by the Fambringen. How is it that a bocha from the Zal on the Zainba Fambringen? I told the Rebbe, this bocha, a few months ago, Leilenu, his father passed away, he's a Ben Yochid. And his mother lives alone out of town. And she asked him, when you know that there's a Shabbos, which is not a scheduled Farbringen, ask permission from Dan Hogan. You should come to me Friday morning, you go back Saturday night, and Sunday morning you'll be by the Seder, but Shabbos will meet together. There was no scheduled Farbringen for that Shabbos. He came into the office Friday morning. Do you have any inkling, any idea? Did you hear? We said we didn't hear anything. He went to his Anhola. Now, once that application, you could go. I told him that's what. So the Rebbe said, "Was helft mir alle zu nutzen? Wie kann das sein, als a Bocher von Saal soll das sein bei Verbringen? What are you giving me all these explanations? How is it possible that a Bocher from learning the Saal should not be?" So I told the Rebbe say, I'll tell this Bocher, I'm not going to tell him that the Rebbe asked anything. I think it would be a good idea. You see, you Mr. Verbringen, stay every Shabbos here and get permission from Dan Holler that 1 or 2 days during the weekday you should be able to go to your mother. And the Rebbe says, on no condition till you speak to him. Why? Because if you're going to speak to him, he'll figure out, Mr. you heard something from me that I was not happy was Verbringen. And that's going to cause him aggravation. And I don't want to aggravate anybody. On one hand, the Rebbe wants that he should come to the Farbringen. On the other hand, if that's going to cause aggravation, don't say it. And the Rebbe said, you find another way how to do it. A buck in yeshiva, how many people stand by the Farbringen Shabbos? 5 people, 10 people, tens and tens of people. And here the Rebbe sees a buck by Mincha, and he knew that yesterday he was not by the Farbringen. Well, we said before that the Rebbe said, Ich tracht wegen jeder einer von euch. The Rebbe is constantly sees each and every one, he thinks about each and every one of us, and that's why the Rebbe asked the group of people, think about me. And there's a whole thing in see this, that as a result of Zikoron, it makes a stronger connection. What is all this? Because we see Yud Shvat, especially Yom, that's the Yom HaGodol VaKodesh of Yud Shvat, which was mentioned, I don't know if I mentioned before that we only say Yom HaKodesh by Shabbos, and here the Rebbe applies it to Yud Shvat, Yom HaGodol VaKodesh. So this is the day of Yom HaGodol comes from the Rebbe. The Rebbe is trying to share with us his feelings, what he expects of us, what he hopes for our benefit, not for his benefit, for our benefit, what we should do. And these are some of the things of Zitzbach Hasidish will bring, especially for Yud Shvat, to try to arouse oneself and try to strengthen oneself. And in the shape by Fabringen, the Retzach Hadunach, one Retzach Yodin, so a third party hears, he'll hear and maybe that'll help him also. The Kavan over here, there's no Musach Chas v'Shalom, there's no complaints to anybody. We're just discussing and trying to share what the Rebbe feels or what the Rebbe was hoping that each and every one of us be, how our conduct will be. May as well the Eibishter helfen that each and every one of us should appreciate what the Rebbe is going out of his way to reveal to us what he personally feels about us, who he really is, and to go in other areas where the Rebbe spoke about himself. It may will be in some of the stories later. We'll see what it is if the people are still interested. Und the Rebbe says, "I'll help him that the Heinteke Yeshvat, which is on a higher level than it was the previous years, but the Heinteke Yeshvat gives new koiches to strengthen our hiskashrus, our connection to the Rebbe, and the Rebbe is ready to accept each and every one of us, regardless what the condition and what the situation of the person is." The Rebbe said that clearly a number of times